Henry Cole is a British TV host, producer, and motorcycle enthusiast who is known for his love of adventure and old cars, especially motorcycles. He has had a long and successful career, and his most famous shows are Find It, Fix It, Flog It, and World's Greatest Motorcycle Rides, which combine his love of travel, restoration, and British engineering. Even though Henry seems like the picture of success now, his path wasn't always easy. Come along as we tell you the truth about Theodore Cole. Henry was born in 1964 into a wealthy British family. He grew up in Norfolk, England, in a big Victorian rectory with his parents. It was a traditional strict, stiff upper lip household. His father, an ex-army major, was known for being formal and a little distant, and his mother was a quiet but helpful figure. Henry's background is very interesting. Henry is related to William U. Gladstone, who was the first Prime Minister of Britain, which linked him to a political story. Family history: from a wealthy family, Henry was supposed to follow a more traditional path, maybe joining the army and then going to work in the city. But fate had other plans for him, and Uncle Redbeard played a big role in that. One day, when Henry and his family went to visit his great-uncle's huge house in Liverpool, Henry was introduced to his collection of old British motorcycles. Uncle Redbeard saw Henry in the garden and invited him to check out his sheds, where he saw a stunning collection of classic bikes. The mysterious allure of these machines, along with the smell of oil and leather, made quite an impact on him. The 12-year-old Henry was completely captivated by the sight, sound, and even feel of those bikes, and he was hooked from that point on. Henry's interest in motorbikes only grew. He would ride his grifter bike to the village shop to buy motorcycle magazines and read every issue cover to cover. Even though he came from a wealthy family and wore corduroy pants and a side part, he was drawn to the rough and tumble world of motorcycles, of bikers with long hair, greasy hands, and a distinct smell of adventure. The first time he rode a motorcycle was years later, when he borrowed a 250cc Honda single-cylinder from a friend's shed. He had never ridden a motorcycle before, but he was eager to take it for a spin and was given very little instruction. He clumsily started the bike and then steered it right into a hedge, which was a memorable and scary start to his biking journey. However, this accident didn't stop him, and it was the start of a lifelong love of riding motorcycles. After falling in love with bikes, Henry thought that working in the entertainment industry was his calling. At first, he was drawn to the excitement of film and TV, but he also started using drugs. His drug problems got worse between the ages of 19 and 24. At one point, his drug use got so bad that it was unsustainable, costing him around £250 a day, which he paid for with overdrafts and whatever money he could get from his small business. During this dark time, he became deeply isolated. He had it brought directly to his door by dispatch riders, which cost him almost £1,000 a year. He also had to deal with financial problems, like not being able to pay his mortgage and losing his things to repossession. Few people came to see Henry besides Matt and Luke Goss from the pop band Bros, who lived nearby. His problems got the attention of the media, and a tabloid famously called him Heroin Henry and said he sold drugs, which was a very painful and difficult experience for Henry's family. Especially his parents were there for him through it all. He was determined to change his life, so he focused on his career and eventually went back to working in TV, which was a big part of his recovery. He has said that in addition to the staggering personal costs of his addiction, he spent close to £500 on recovery alone. Today, Henry is over 30 years clean and shares his story openly to help others. Henry's first appearance on TV was a mix of resolve, adaptability, and business. During a rough patch in his career, he first turned a foray into a movie called Mad Dogs and Englishmen in 1995. The movie starred Elizabeth Hurley, but got bad reviews and did poorly at the box office. This setback could have ended his career, but it turned out to be a turning point when he met a Channel 5 executive and suggested a show combining celebrities and classic cars. Let me explain how it works. Well, it looks good too, but it's much better made than the 993. Your word for that? No, it's definitely true. Even though executives weren't sure about Henry as the host, they let him make a Christmas special as a test run. The episode was well received, and the show ran for 5 years. Henry's early work in Stars and Cars opened the way for his motorcycle education shows. After making a few car-focused shows, he pitched the idea for World's Greatest Motorcycle Rides and was hired by Epic. Trips along famous roads like Route 66 in the United States, The show let him combine his love of bikes and TV, which he had thought was impossible before he got his life back on track. Henry became serious about getting married as soon as he met Jane. They got married and now live in the picture-perfect village of Cotswold, England, with their 2 kids, Charlie and Tom, who are very much a part of their family life. Even though Henry is famous, he tends to keep his personal life pretty quiet, sharing only a few details about it. The public about his family Jane supports Henry in all of his endeavors, but she rarely appears on his shows to protect their privacy, which they seem to value. They have a dog named Jelly Bean, and Henry has said that he loves teaching his kids about his hobbies, like motorcycles and outdoor activities. Though there aren't many pictures of his family on social media, fans understand that Henry doesn't want people to be too interested in his family. In 2013, Henry made news when his 1927 Brough Superior set a new world land speed record for a 750 motorbike made before 1955. He did it at the Bonneville Salt Flats. Henry hit speeds of more than 100 mph. The experience was intense and thrilling, and he was slashed by a tank at high speed, making him feel a mix of fear and excitement as he fought to stay in control. This record-breaking event was the culmination of Henry's love for motorcycling and adventure, and it shows that he believes every ride can be an adventure, no matter how far it goes. In addition to showing how good he is as a rider, Henry's journey to this accomplishment shows how dedicated he is to the biking community and the adventures that come with it. At this point in his life, Henry promotes bike culture, but with a focus on safety rather than thrill. The biker has recently taken on a prominent role in a safety campaign aimed at reducing motorcycle accidents in Dion and Cornwall as part of the Vision Zero Southwest initiative. The campaign highlights the serious risks involved in motorcycling in the video. Henry read a letter from a motorcyclist to his mother after an accident in Cornwall. The letter said, "Dear Mom, this has always been a hard one for me, but here it is. I really am very sorry. At the time of my crash, I was a very different person." The writer was sorry for taking dangerous risks and not wearing enough protective gear, which shows how taking the right safety precautions could have changed the outcome. Henry gave the project his full backing and stressed how important it was to bring attention to what happens when you ride unsafely given what he has done. It's no wonder that Henry has a huge net worth, about $2 million, has made him very wealthy. In addition to his work on TV, Henry also makes money by producing different shows that are syndicated in the United States and other countries. The Gladstone Henry's motorcycle company Cole started Gladstone Motorcycles as a tribute to his great-grandfather Gladstone. The company is known for making limited edition British bikes. Gladstone Motorcycles only appeals to a small group of people, but it makes Cole a more well-known figure in the motorcycle community and raises the status of his other work. Henry's passion projects and business ventures, especially in the custom motorcycle markets, are based on his personal interests rather than his desire to make a lot of money, and he stays pretty grounded when spending in. He collects old bikes and useful items that show he values craftsmanship and heritage. In addition to writing novels, Henry has also written books about his life and his love of motorcycles. These include A Biker's Life and The Life-Changing Magic of Sheds. These books, written in the style of a memoir, give an honest account of his trip. His honest writing has struck a chord with readers, which has led to commercial success and added another revenue goal to his work. Henry's life really does show a path of true resilience that changes people. Turn your difficulties into a legacy that inspires others.